Good
Hello.
morning, everyone. This is Sahar, and you're watching Rethink with Sahar. This is a platform where we like to rethink ideas, we like to rethink thoughts, and try to look at everything in a new light. So today we have with us the well known author, Jaqueline Galvin. You're welcome, Miss Galvin.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and it's my pleasure to have you here. And Jacqueline, tell us about your work. What are you are? I have heard you have a new novel is coming up.
I'm pretty much just a murderess. So
Oh,
I murder people.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
oh,
This one, I don't know why he even lives with me.
I'm afraid to fall asleep.
Yeah. Don't fall asleep. But
we are live now.
yes. So
Okay, doesn't matter.
there's
Yeah.
quite a few books
So
out there. Yes.
yes. So would you like to tell us about that?
The first one is a prequel. It
Mm-hmm.
introduces my main character, whose name is Tucker Elliott. He's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of a bad boy. Um, his mother is always trying to straighten him out. She owns a big conglomerate in England, and
Mm-hmm.
she dispatches him to do things that need to be done. He's brilliant. He's just not very well behaved. Where he
Okay.
goes, newspapers follow. So, and some
Wow.
of the headlines aren't always what you'd hope for.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is his in a tease of murder. It's the prequel that introduces you to him and a couple of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Following that is Murder for Afternoon Tea. And
Okay.
all my books take place in real locations. This
Okay.
one took place in St. Petersburg, Florida, and
That's
also in
interesting.
West Sussex, England.
Mm-hmm.
So that book centers on his best friend that he grew up with, has a new B&B and tea room in St. Petersburg, but somebody is trying to drive her out of there and they don't know why. So
Okay.
they come
That
over
is.
to try and
Uh-huh.
help her.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, during her grand opening speech, she dies. And then they have to
Ah.
figure out why,
Wow.
or did she?
Wow. Yeah.
So that's the first in the series. The second,
Beautiful. Beautiful concept.
yes. So
Wow.
the second is called Death in Paradise: Secrets of the Croquet Club. That is
Mm-hmm.
actually set in a small island called Usepa Island Club that is off
Mm-hmm.
the coast of, Florida, off of Fort Myers, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and they go there to try and relax and get away from the murders at the tea room.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they just trip right into somebody else murdering somebody there too.
Oh my goodness.
And, since they're the new people on the island, they after, a couple of murders, they are kind of suspicious. Why, how did all this start happening when those people came, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the end, they find the killer and by using themselves as
Yeah.
bait and almost get killed themselves.
Ooh,
So, yes,
that's very thrilling.
it is a bit of a page turner. I have people tell me that I use cliffhangers at the end of every chapter.
Wow.
So I hate to stop the action just because the chapter ends. So I try to hook you into going to the next chapter. So
Great. That's a
I've had a
great
lot of
technique.
yes, I've had a lot of people tell me it's hard to put the books down because they want to see what happens next.
Oh, yes. That is
So
curiosity is what keeps us going, especially when we are reading and reading a novel like this. Oh,
yes,
that's
yes.
amazing. So, what are your hopes out of this novel? Like, what do you think? Uh, how is it going to be perceived by the readers? And I wish the best of luck for it. And in fact, I have loved the theme that you told us. And how do you think it will be perceived?
They're lighthearted. They're cozy
Okay.
mysteries that have humor in them and romance, little romance, and travel, and they're, there's four to five characters, depending on what book. And
Okay.
there are two couples, and the two women are kind of like Lucy and Ethel, getting in trouble every
Wow.
time they turn around. And
Okay.
the tea room manager, her man is a FBI agent. And then there's Tucker, and his
Hmm.
mother hired this woman to
Mm-hmm.
kind of try and straighten him out, keep an eye on him and straighten him out. And
Wow.
sometimes I think she gets in more trouble than he does. So
Poor mothers.
poor Aileen tried, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So
Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Hmm.
um,
That's interesting.
my
Uh,
last release was the Brooklyn's Motor Course Murders, which is
mhm.
set almost entirely in England at the Brooklands Museum. And the
Okay.
Brooklands Museum is the very first motor racing course in the world.
Oh wow.
And it was built in 1907,
Mm-hmm.
and it is now a museum that shows all of the racing. The track is almost non-existent these days because when the wartime came, it was used as an aerodrome, and it was also used by the naval, the
Mm-hmm.
British, the Royal Air Force, and it got bombed. So parts of
Wow.
the track are just
Quite
not.
a history.
It was bombed out of existence.
Wow.
But
Mm.
they have lots of events that go on. They have lots of things that happen there because it is a museum. They have
Mm-hmm.
lots of exhibitions and events. And when we were there in 24, they were
Mm-hmm.
having Sunbeam Day, which was all Sunbeam motorcycles. And
Beautiful.
they ranged from 1907 to 1915 all the way up to new ones. So,
That's nice. That's
yeah, so it's a
wonderful.
really interesting day to be
Mm-hmm.
there and to see all the things, and to go, instead of looking at what I was when I was writing, I was looking at stuff online, to actually be there and see
Wow.
what I
Wow.
had written
And
about.
that gives the authenticity to your descriptions of places
Yes.
and
And
whatever you want to.
I didn't really have to change much because their pictures and their descriptions are so well done anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to change very much, but it was good to actually be on site and see it.
Be on site and see it.
So,
That's right.
yes.
And when you go on such sites, you travel. Do you write about them also?
Um, yeah, like I said, all my locations are real places with real
Mm-hmm.
history and real things happening. And
Uh-huh.
this one that is releasing on September 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, when we came to Conneaut, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I got an idea. Well, before we even got here, I asked the owner of the vineyard if I could murder someone in his.
Oh my God.
And he said,
He
"Ooh,
must have been
awesome, yeah."
shocked.
He was all over it. I said, "Well, it's you. You own the vineyard. Where would you like the first body?" He didn't even blink. He said, "In the fermentation tank." I, I will tell you, I did not know how to do that. He had to help me murder my first victim.
Wow. 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 So
So,
realistic everything is.
I'm
Wow.
sorry.
It's so realistic.
It's very realistic because it is a real place. And
Yeah.
it is a very nice winery. I'm gonna be going over there later on today to do another interview with him now that I have my actual book in my hands, which
Wow.
I don't have at the moment. When do I wanna
You
get me a copy of
you
Strong?
stand you stand good to your statement that you are a murderess.
Yes, this one actually only has 2 bodies in it, which is a small count for me. Usually there's more.
Oh wow. Two
Yes,
bodies, a small gun. My goodness.
yes. And there is an attempted murder too, so
Wow.
we can, we'll let that. But we are launching it at the Vineyard because
Okay.
when I was writing it last year, I would
Uh,
I would go over. We'd have a glass of wine, and I would fill him in on what I'd written.
mm-hmm.
And he did read the book a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and his comment was that it was a delicious romp.
Wow.
So he liked it, and the other staff they're finishing reading too. They liked it as well, which
Mm-hmm.
is good because boy, what if you don't like it? Thank you, honey. Um, so
Okay.
we are having the launch party at the Vineyard. So
Mm-hmm.
there should be
Beautiful.
quite.
So it's going to be uh, a place. It's going to give it a different kind of authenticity to all the uh, action in the novel. That
Yes, yes.
the
I mean,
vineyard that's there, it's you are the readers are actually going to be there when the book is
that's
released.
that is the context of my writing. I want you to feel like you're there and that
Beautiful.
you're right there with me, and you're fully entrenched in the vineyard. You're walking down aisle 4,
Mhm.
and it's that's the vines
And
are
you feel
full.
like somebody's coming from behind
Yes, and
and gonna take you.
it's
Yeah.
interesting,
Yes.
and the vines are beautiful right now. The grapes are ripening. We're close to harvest. So we
Exactly.
did say we'd go over one day and help them pick some grapes.
Wow. That's
They they
nice. That's
they lose a
beautiful.
lot of their staff to going back to school and things come September.
Yes. That's
So,
nice.
but yes, on the 27th, it'll be a nice big party, and
Mm-hmm.
all my books will be there,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be fun.
Jacqueline, you're a writer. So, what is it in your mind when you're writing a book? One is that it should be authentic,
Yeah.
right? Is there anything else? For example, everyone has a message to give, right? So, if someone is writing, for example, even poetry, for example, Maya Angelou, she had a big thing to say. So,
Mhm.
what is it that you try to say in your novels?
I just want them to be entertaining. I think life is hard enough, and if you can sit down with a fun book that engages
Mm-hmm.
you, it maybe teaches you a little bit about a different place,
Mm-hmm.
that you've never been or seen, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe, make you laugh a little bit, get you involved with the characters, make you feel like they're your friends and that you would like to be friends with these people. I had one person say, "I'd love to be friends with these people. They're fun." So, you know, it
That's
it
yeah.
not a huge message. The book about my son had a huge message in it.
Um,
And the
okay.
byproduct of that book, I didn't realize when I was writing it. I just wrote
Mm-hmm.
about experience of how it all happened. And I didn't realize, but I was helping other people grapple with their grief over their losses. I
Um,
didn't realize that that was going to be a thing, and apparently it is.
would you like to tell the audience a little bit about your son, if you feel comfortable?
Yes, he was an interesting kid, very smart. I know every mother says that, but I had him tested.
Uh,
When I got the results, I thought, I am probably screwed for the rest of my life because he is going to run circles around me. And he did because he was very smart, very smart.
uh-huh.
And he was having some headaches and we weren't sure what was going on. So we took him to the doctor and he was trying to explain what was going on. And we were getting ready to, it was right around the holidays, and we were getting ready
Mm-hmm.
to start doing some tests with him
Mm-hmm.
when on his birthday, he was sick. And then
Oh,
that was the 4th of January. And then 2 days later, we had to go to the hospital because he was
oh.
dehydrating. And By Friday, he was admitted.
Oh.
And he thought I came home on a Friday and he said to me, Mom, I think I've had a stroke. And
My
that's
God.
when we went to the hospital and they checked him in.
Mhm.
And they said, yeah, it has all the signs of it. The ENT came in the next morning and yes, he's, he's got a paralyzed vocal cord. So
Oh.
we just didn't see it, or maybe we just didn't want to accept that it could be
Mhm.
caused by this brainstem tumor. But the bleed
Oh.
from the stroke covered the tumor, so no one could see the tumor
Oh.
until the end.
That's sad.
So
That's
the
sad.
book opens with that of Mom,
Uh-huh.
I think I've had a stroke, and then we go to the hospital and things progress.
Mhm.
And then I go back to when I was pregnant and when he was little, key moments of his life. Um,
Mhm.
when he was small, he was a funny kid. One example, he was playing baseball, and it was the first time that the boys had to go get a cup and had to put a cup on in order to
Mhm.
play. So
Mhm.
his father was out of town at the time. So I went and I got the cup and I gave it to him and I said, okay, put it on.
Mhm.
You have to do it. So I was actually the dugout mom. So I was usually
Okay.
on the field with the coaches or in the dugout.
Mhm.
And right before the game, he came up and was hugging on me. And I thought, oh, how sweet. And he had his hand in my back jeans pocket. And I'm thinking, oh, he's just loving on me. Well, one of the coaches comes out from the bleachers and says, do you always stand on a baseball field with a cup hanging out of your pants? He had taken it off and shoved it in my back pocket because he didn't want to wear it. So, so much for love.
Wow. Huh.
But, yeah,
That's
it
funny.
goes through all the experiences and all the things that happened, and then finally, uh, they understood what it was, and he passed away. He had one last bleed and
Oh,
passed
sorry.
away, and,
Hmm.
this one who is we're getting married, geez, in, like, 10 days. Um,
Oh,
yes, we're getting we're getting married. We're a little old
good.
for that, but
Congratulations.
we're doing it
Mhm.
anyway.
Mhm.
So uh, what was I saying? We were together with my ex-husband when he passed.
Uh-huh.
3 of us were in the room.
Ah, okay.
And then there was the funeral to plan, and then during this time, I thought this was really
Mhm.
cool. My husband was working for this company, and they fired him
Oh,
during this 5-month episode.
another.
So, he ended up moving back home. He died
Okay.
Friday of Memorial Weekend,
Uh-huh.
and my ex-husband moved back home in September.
Hmm.
And it's an old Spanish house that had a nanny's quarters in the back attached to the garage, and so that was his room,
Mhm.
but we cooked together and watched TV and went places together, the 3 of us, and
Mhm.
the 3 of us lived together for 3 years till we sold the house.
Okay.
So that's in the book too, because people will say, "Wait a minute,
And
the 3 of you live together?" "Yeah, the 3 of us live together." "Isn't he your
mhm.
ex-husband?" "Yes."
Yes,
But sometimes you need to go home because
exactly.
it is what it
Uh,
is. And
I
his
have a
name
question.
his name is Ray, and this
Oh,
gentleman
hi,
next to
Ray.
me, his last name is Ray. So everybody was constantly confused. "Are you talking about Mark or are you talking about Ray?" Ray Galvin and Mark Ray. And people would be like, "What
What are the odds? What
who are
are
you
the
talking
odds?
about?" Yeah, what are the odds? Who are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a little that can be a little confusing for the people, but at the same time, it's funny.
It is funny.
And I want to ask you another a little tough question. Like, I had a teacher. His son, he passed away because of some reasons. I was quite a kid at that time, not very, maybe in my early teens.
Hmm.
So we did not know what was happening. But we had a play that we had to read, a drama we have to read in the class, one
Hmm.
act play. And in that play, the son dies, and the parents are talking or they're going through the grief. And it became really hard for him, very difficult for him to do that, teach us that drama. And when you wrote about all this, everything about what had happened earlier in context to your son. So, was it difficult? How did it go?
Well, we started out when he went to the hospital. We started out with
I'm sorry, I have to call back.
we started out with him being, not knowing exactly what all was going on. So
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to go through a process of elimination. So
Hmm.
when I asked for prayers on Facebook, and before I
Mm-hmm.
knew it, people around the
Mm-hmm.
world were following this. And then they
Uh,
were asking for daily updates as to what was
okay.
going on. So when I
Mm-hmm.
wrote the book,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it during COVID. It took me 85 days to write this book.
Beautiful. 85 is not a long time to
No,
write a book.
it's not at all. Not at all.
Not at
I don't
all.
even know that I wrote it. My fingers were just going and I wasn't even able to stop them. But
Yeah.
I had all those posts with the updates that I had put out there. So I went back to 2016
Mm-hmm.
and put all those posts into a chronological order and was able to write it from that because they were very detailed. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, in order to give background, I started with, when I was pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he was born.
Mm-hmm.
uh, he was named after my great uncle, Grant, um,
Okay.
who was one of 13, the only boy. Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
that bathroom scenario in the morning? So it was a good, strong name, Grant Miller Galvin. Miller was my ex-husband's side of the family. So
Mm-hmm.
um, we just took all of those posts and all those thoughts and wrote them down. And the day I started writing, this crow showed up at the window,
Oh, wow.
and my cat walked over to the window. We opened the shutters because the bird was tapping on the window. And the two of them sat there and communed for like 10 minutes. And I said, "The cat is communing with a crow." Well,
Wow.
that bird was there the entire time I wrote that book. And he would come for breakfast. He would eat with
Hmm.
the outdoor cat. And he came every day. And we would be sitting out in the backyard and he'd fly out in the backyard. I have a picture of a patio chair where the bird is
Mm-hmm.
on the top of the patio chair and the cat is under the patio chair and the cat is looking up at the bird and the bird is looking down at the cat.
My
So
goodness.
they spent a lot of time together
That's
hanging
strange.
out outside.
That's strange. Really
It's
strange.
very strange. And
And then, didn't you see? We do not believe in the unity of nature. We say everything is as it should be, but everything is separate, everything is different. And but then, how unified everything is.
it was very, I said, if this crow leaves when I'm done with this book, we'll know who it was. And sure enough, a week after the book was finished, he brought his wife to breakfast, and I didn't see him again until the very next year on the same day he showed up.
Wow,
But yeah,
that's
he
amazing.
Edgar, we named him Edgar Allan Crow.
After Edgar Allan Poe, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Wasn't a raven, he was a crow, but he hung out.
Mhm.
The thing was, he was
Hmm.
building a nest somewhere and he kept taking all my best stuff out of my backyard, like my silk flowers
Wow.
and
So as if he knew where everything was.
Oh, yeah, and he just took anything he wanted. He tried to take a whole plant one day. It was in a small pot, and he
Oh,
picked it up with his beak, and he tried to fly away with it, but it was too heavy and it fell. It was a little shamrock plant, and I thought, "Well, I'm sure that'll look pretty in your nest, but it's mine.
it's mine.
Sit down." So,
Wow, that's interesting.
but that's how that book came about. It was actually his last wish. He wanted to write the book with me, and
Okay.
he just didn't get there. So,
And so he came another way.
yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Who
think he was
knows?
there the whole
The
time.
mysteries, the mysteries and mysticism of nature. Who knows anything about it?
Right,
Right.
right. But, the day we moved out of the house, the 3 of us were
Mhm.
standing there, and, we're kind of saying goodbye to the house,
Mhm.
and, my ex-husband said, "Well, this has really been interesting," and I said, "Yeah, it has," and he said, "What are you gonna miss most?" And I said, "Telling people the 3 of us live together and seeing the look on their faces," and he said, "That is kinda my favorite part too."
Yeah, that's something quite unusual,
It is
which
unusual.
people cannot understand,
Yes,
which
I
people do not.
when I
Yeah.
finally went back to work, I was at a company meeting, the national meeting, and, my boss had some questions. He said, "So, is it true that the 3 of you live together?" And I said, "Yes."
Yes.
And he said, "I could never live with my ex-wife." And I said, "Yeah, most people can't do that."
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
and,
Yeah. But then when
everybody
you have it what I believe is that you have to see what you want to focus on. Those number of good long years are just a few small moments which made you which because of which you got separated. It's up to you what you want to look at.
yes, yes, it's, if you ever believed in don't sweat the small stuff, this
Yes,
teaches you. This
that's
teaches you
right.
not to sweat the small stuff because there is way bigger stuff out there, way bigger stuff.
Exactly.
But
That's
when I
right.
was writing my first book, I couldn't figure out how to murder somebody, and I was in my office probably for a day and a half trying to figure out how to murder this person.
And you
And
did finally.
well, Grant walked in
Uh-huh.
and he said, "You've been in here for a day and a half. What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm trying to murder this person, but they can't die right away, but they can't linger." I said, "It has to be specific." And he said,
Hmm.
"Well," and I have a book of poisons that's a writer's guide to poisons and their toxicity levels and what they can do and how long it takes
Oh my god.
for yeah, once again, I don't know how he lives with me, but
Wow.
he walks in and he says, "Well, iodine." And I said, "I swear I looked that up." And I looked it up and I must have skipped over it for some reason. And I said, "That's perfect." And I said, "Wait a minute.
Hmm.
How do you know about that?" And he said, "Science class." And I said, "Well, great. At least you're learning something." So, and he walks out
Yeah.
of my office and says, "By the way, I will be expecting royalties." I said,
Beautiful.
"Okay,
Yeah.
since you helped me
And
kill a person, I'll give you some
that's
royalties."
really nice that you were finally able to, uh, and in fact, beautifully write about those murders, your books of murders. And one final thing, you said what kind of an uh, impact writing all these books had on your personality?
I don't know. I if I don't write, then I dream too much at night and it's really hard to get good sleep.
Oh.
So I have to get it out on paper. Otherwise it makes me have not restful sleep at night. So, that's how it works for me.
When it
Um,
is a mental call of nature,
yes.
you have to throw everything out.
But yeah, I've got another book coming out in 3 episodes in the spring of next year, and
Beautiful.
that was done in, Colorado
Hmm.
and Colorado and Utah. and
Okay.
it involves the U.S. biathlon team. So, which is perfect because I think Winter Olympics are next year. I'm not
Hmm.
sure, but I think they might be. So
Uh,
great time to
I'm not
debut
quite
this.
sure.
Great time to
In
debut this.
26? Yeah, I guess.
I think so. Yeah. So, and after that, I have the Broome Park Murders, which was set in Canterbury, England, at an old hotel that was built in 1638.
Wow.
So there's a few ghosts roaming around in there, and there's I'm
That
almost
should
done
be
with that, but I'm up to 3 bodies in that right now. There's gonna be 4, and probably an attempted murder. So,
okay. I'm trying to take it in.
okay. Well, living.
Actually, I'm the kind of person who cannot even think about bloodshed and murders and anything negative. I feel something is dying within me, and I get depressed. So, but the way you are talking about it, it's a new way of looking at things. Oh,
Well, the books are kind of amusing. I mean, and the people who die really deserve to die. I
all
mean,
of us
it's not
deserve to
like
die.
they're really great people anyway. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Thank you for being here. And would you like to tell our audience where they can find your books?
uh, the books are on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. The Strangled in the Vines is on pre-order right now. So,
Okay.
it releases on the 27th of the month, but that there will
Hmm.
be a ebook version, a hardcover, and a paperback.
Great.
And, the other books are pretty much Amazon and Barnes& and Noble for most of them. So,
Okay.
and there's other distributions, but they're kind of smaller. So,
Okay. Sounds
but
good.
there will be links. My blog site is livelifesrichmoments.com. And
Hmm.
then my author site is JaquelineFarthingGalvin.com
Okay.
and
JaquelineFarthingGalvin.com.
.com, and that will have all the links there. We're getting that updated as we speak, and all those
Hmm.
links will be. In fact, she may have already done that. Oh, this is the book,
Oh, wow. That looks
which
beautiful.
it's kind of backwards
Yeah.
looking, but my cover designer is Jen Zipperer Cordell, and she is
Hmm.
a digital artist, and
Okay.
she is actually the wife of my son's best friend, Charlie. And she
Beautiful.
does these book covers, and they're fantastic.
Great. It is a beautiful book cover.
Yeah, they're very
That's
pretty, very
nice.
nice. She does a
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Jacqueline, and it was nice talking to you.
Also, thank you
And
for
I,
having me.
you are welcome, and good luck for your books. And may a lot of readers read them, and they're a great success. And thank you so much. And friends, I'll see you next week, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. So till then, have a good one.